In this last video of the semester, we'll talk about how to complete your annotated bibliography assignment. First, it is important that you understand what an annotation is and what it is not. As you've looked through the library databases at articles, you've no doubt encountered article abstracts, summary paragraphs that explain what the article is about. An annotation is similar, but goes beyond mere summary. An annotation also describes the author's point of view, authority, or clarity, and assesses the appropriateness of the article to one's own research question. So while abstracts are a good way to get an overview of an article, they should not be seen as a template for writing an annotation. An annotated bibliography is a list of citations, the citations that you turned in for your citation assignment, where each citation is followed by a brief paragraph called an annotation. The purpose of an annotated bibliography is to inform the reader about the sources, as well as to aid you, the researcher, in compiling possible sources to use in a paper, and to help you become familiar with the information available on your topic. There are two types of annotated bibliography, analytical and descriptive. Your annotated bibliography will be descriptive in nature. You have already completed an analysis of your sources when you did your CRAP evaluations. Descriptive or informative annotated bibliographies describe why each source is useful for your research and describe the author's main arguments and conclusions without evaluating or commenting on what the author says. For your final assignment, you will write a single introductory paragraph, which I'll explain in full on the next slide. This will be followed by your 5 citations and annotations, with one citation, then its annotation, then the next citation and its annotation, and so on. Each annotation will be 3 to 4 sentences long and should focus on 3 things: a summary of the source, which can be pulled straight from your CRAP assignment where you already did a 1 or 2 sentence summary of your source; how the source addresses your particular research question and or thesis, which can and should be informed by your CRAP evaluation relevance statement; and finally, how the source compares to the other sources in your bibliography. This last will be the only completely original sentence in each annotation, since the others are coming from or informed by your CRAP evaluation. The introductory paragraph will be at least 6 sentences in length: an introduction sentence, at least 4 supporting sentences, and a thesis statement. It will provide an introduction to your topic and research question. The 4 supporting sentences will use synthesis to compare and contrast at least 3 of your sources using correct MLA or APA in-text citation. Here is an example of what your citation and annotation should look like. The citation here is in MLA format. The annotation immediately follows the citation with no extra spaces. MLA uses indentation at the beginning of paragraphs, so the annotation paragraph here is indented. You can see that there's a 1-sentence summary of the article, followed by a sentence explaining the relevance to the research question, and finishing up with a statement contrasting this source with other sources in the bibliography. One thing to think about when writing the synthesis part of your introductory paragraph and the final statement in each of your annotations is how you might compare and contrast the ideas in your various sources. Talk about the sources in terms of what they have in common and what is unique about them. If any of them disagree with the others, explain how. Think of it like this: each annotation is about a single source, but the synthesis in the introductory paragraph is pulling the ideas in the different sources together. For rules and templates to follow for in-text citations, I refer you once again to Purdue OWL's site. This slide shows where to look for the information on in-text citations and includes links to the appropriate parts of OWL. Generally speaking, APA includes both an author's name and a date in in-text citations, while MLA includes the author's name and a page number. See the OWL sites for details on how to handle special cases like multiple authors, or no page numbers. As always, if you have questions about anything covered here or about the assignment itself, post your question to the general discussion board or email your professor.